Morning, Black family. Hayes here. You listen to the latest broadcast from Jason Black. I hope you enjoy it, because I'm sure I will.
Tonight on the Black Channel, the white supremacist holy month of April wasn't supposed to go like this. It was supposed to be totally different. Whole lot of folks got a whole lot of surprises, and we're only getting started. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent Black thought. We are the Black Media. And this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically Black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, yes, indeed, a whole bunch of folks got a whole bunch of surprises. And this picture right here really says it all. Of all the things I could show you, of all the things I could say, of all the things I could convey to you, this picture says it all. This picture right here says, hey man, it wasn't supposed to go down like this. This wasn't in the script. I mean, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, this picture right here says it. This picture screams, hey man, this wasn't in the script. It wasn't supposed to go like this. It was supposed to go the other way. Wasn't supposed to be this way. What you mean I got to go to prison first? What you mean I ain't going home today? Well, it wasn't supposed to be like this. What you mean? I thought the fix was in. I thought it was gonna go I thought the fix was in. Hell, we've been doing these niggas like this for decades. What you mean I got to go to jail? Now, you'll all remember I said this last week, and I said it before last week. Go back and listen to last week's program. I told you all then that they're going to convict him. I told you all then, go back and listen to last week's program. I'm not guessing my way through any of this. George Zimmerman, Amber Geiger, Muhammad Nawar, Derek Chauvin. I called them right down the line. So I told you all last week on last week's program, I said it. Oh yeah, they're going to give him something. No, he's going to get convicted. They're going to give him something. Now the real question is, I'm not going to sit up here and say it's going to be a stiff sentence now. But I did tell you last week, oh, no, the heat's on too damn thick. You've had protests around the country and around the world. The heat's on too thick. We can't let you go. We can't send you back home right now. Man, niggas is sitting in front of every damn police station in America waiting for the word to come down. They out of work. The checks ain't coming right. They still ain't getting paid like they're supposed to. Folks across the country, out there in California, in Oakland, it didn't even happen in Oakland. They was turning up in Oakland. It didn't even happen there. Didn't even happen there. And they was like, look, we start without you. Y'all taking too long to get this not guilty verdict. We start with that. We're just going to assume you going to do what you going to do. And we're just going to get started right now. We ain't even waiting. Well, I ain't gonna wait. all around the country and around the world, folks were waiting to get turned up just as a precaution. We're just going to do it now. We just are not going to expect you to do anything right. We're just going to go ahead and shut you down now. And let's go ahead and just get this damn thing started. See, this is the month of April. This is the white supremacist holy month wasn't supposed to go like this. It was supposed to be a whole different thing. It was supposed to be a whole different thing and go a whole different way. He was supposed to do the crime and they're supposed to yell and scream and then they're supposed to say not guilty and send in the National Guard and everything's like, dude, we ain't got enough National Guard troops to hold down what you about to start. No, we got to put you on ice for a minute and see if we can figure out some other way to let you go. We can't let you walk out of here. We can't. You know why? Because you're bad for business. So we can't just let you get up and walk out of here. You cannot just walk out of this place. You can't. You can't. Yeah, I know that's what we usually would do. We would usually do that. But now we got to do it differently. We got to do it differently now. My man Tariq called it pull-up summer. Damn right. Only now it's starting to look like pull-up season. Not even just for a summer now. It's starting to look like just the season of pull-up. And as you all understand, historical seasons can last years or even decades. So we might see this going on a whole lot more. This is probably just going to be the new way under the sun. It's going to be the pull-up era. It's just going to be the era of the pull-up. And at this point right now, it's like, hey, you know, it's like, look, we can do this in the court or we can do this outside of it. Which do you prefer? And then, yes, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. When you got a United States Congressperson, oh, I'm going to say it. Oh, I'm going to go in the direction you think I'm not going to go in. And yes, I am going to say it. Because you see, when you got Congressman Pete King talking to the white supremacists and advocating for the white supremacists, advocating for outright white supremacy, you've got congressmen advocating for outright white supremacy, Anglo supremacy. This is an Anglo culture right there on CNN, on national and international television, advocating for white supremacy. Those are elected officials of the United States government saying that this is a country of Caucasians, Anglos, and then you got a United States congressperson saying, black folks out there in the streets, y'all ain't turned up enough. Just that little bit of thing right there. Now, wouldn't have been, I'm going to tell you right now, wouldn't it have been real damn nice if the whole Congressional Black Caucus would have sounded the same way? Wouldn't it have been damn nice if the rest of the Congressional Black Caucus had been looking and sounding the same way? I wonder what would happen in this country, which is what we've been saying. When black folk actually get folks who speak up for us, for our issues, and say it in our way, as I have told you all from the beginning, unapologetic, unadulterated, undiluted, and uncompromising. And all she did was say one sentence. She didn't give a speech. She didn't host a 3-hour program. She didn't do none of that. All she said was one sentence, and take a look at what that did. That she didn't run away from the folks in the streets. She actually supported the folks in the streets one time, just once, which is what we've been saying the whole damn time. See, other folks get things done because their elected officials actually represent them, represent their interests. They don't even sit up here and apologize for it. You got Julian Castro sitting up here advocating for non-citizens. People who can't even vote for him are the number one people that he advocates for. That's the way it works, folks. When we actually get representatives who actually represent us, things get done. Officials start moving. Judges back down. Police departments fall in line. Public policy swings our way, which is why they bought off all these bootlicking ass coons to make sure that that is exactly what didn't happen. People, it didn't take months and months and years of talking. It took one sentence. It took one sentence to put every damn body on notice. And no, I ain't gonna sit up here and say, well, congratulations, this, that, and the other. She should have been doing this the whole damn time and wasn't. Should have been doing it the whole damn time and wasn't. Should have been doing this the whole damn time and was not. That's my point. This should have been happening the whole time and wasn't happening. While Sheila Jackson Lee and the rest of them are playing around about all these other issues and advocating for LGBT and illegals, if they would all just show up once a damn month and talk about this, not even every year, if they show up once a month and talk just like that, you would see things change. You know why? Because police departments around this country, state troopers around this country, legislatures around this country would understand that Black folk have representation that is going to back the people and not the white supremacists right there in Congress, speaking up for us and turning our discussion that we speak here at the grassroots. All of a sudden, that becomes the mainstream. That becomes the mainstream for everybody out there. When they take a look at that, they understand what's going on. I've been saying this for years. If this ever happened, if we push them, and now we made it understand Maxine Waters didn't do it because she wanted to. No, don't get it twisted. She didn't do it because she wanted to. She did it because all eyes were on her, and we've been putting the heat to her ass, and we've been putting the boots to the necks. We've been doing that from the grassroots. Folks, she didn't get up one morning and find religion. She didn't get up one morning and find her spine. She didn't put down the damn Hennessy or whatever liquor she likes to drink and sit up here and decide all of a sudden she's interested in Black folks' issues. Don't y'all get silly up in here. She didn't just wake up one morning, well, I guess we can go ahead and do that. No, she didn't. She looked up and understood we are paying attention, and she's at ground zero. All of them are at ground zero. Everybody's at ground zero now because we're paying attention. Nobody's listening to Bowling Ball Martin. People, do you think Maxine Waters came out and spoke like that because Roland Martin backed himself away from that half a gallon of Haagen-Dazs long enough here? Please. Please, do y'all really think that nigga put the cheesecake down long enough for Maxine Waters to say something? No, they're responding to the grassroots. They're responding to the soil. Kamala Harris ain't got no sway. Black folk ain't interested in LGBT and illegals. What I am telling you is that this result that you watched happen here, and specifically Maxine Waters, people, this is because they are communicating to us clearly that the attempt to change the subject has failed. They are now officially conceding that the attempt to change the subject has failed. It's failed. They tried and tried. They tried the sister girl routine. They tried the highways are racial reparations. Highways are racial justice. Forgiving student loans is racial justice. They tried every idiotic thing in the world. No, people, there is no justice except justice. There is no other definition of justice. There is justice, and then there is injustice. You are not going to redefine it as something else. There is justice or there is nothing. That is all. That is all. You have justice or you have nothing. You are not going to redefine student loans, credit cards, getting the FHA loan, unemployment benefits is racial justice. No, justice is racial justice. And furthermore, we ain't interested in racial justice. We are interested in justice for Black people because we are the only people who are experiencing systemic injustice. Period. End of discussion. There are no police. When Asians get attacked, Asian police show up and arrest non-Asian people. And those non-Asian people end up going into courtrooms. And it doesn't matter whether the judge is Asian or not. The judge is going to be protecting the interests of those Asian people when they get into court. What I'm saying is they're Asian people. You have Asian police who put them in front of maybe an Asian judge, but it really doesn't matter, or Asian prosecutor. And that is it. Nobody is bringing them systemic injustice. When Asian people have something wrong done to them, they get justice. They don't get somebody telling them, well, what happened to you? And that ain't, you know, we're not really sure if it's a crime or not. You don't have anybody trying to rationalize away what's happened to them and call that justice. No one attempts to redefine injustice as justice for Asians. And that's why we're saying, yeah, and we want some of that action. Y'all are not that dumb. You all play stupid. We want that action. What you're giving them, we want that right there. And the fact they tried to leapfrog us, and say, oh no, we're ignoring you and we're going to deal with everything else. No, you got to understand it's a new day. You've got to understand that it's a new day is what I'm telling you. And this is the new way. This isn't just a temporary thing. This is the new way. This is the way it's going to be. Professor Black Truth talked about this years ago when the uprisings around America first started here after Mike Brown and Eric Garner, when he was talking about that folks understand that if people do not get justice in the judicial system, people will look for extrajudicial remedies. Professor Truth has been telling you about that for years, that you are either going to dispense justice in an organized fashion in the judicial system, or there will be extrajudicial steps taken outside the judicial system, but you will either dispense justice or justice will be dispensed upon you. The white supremacist month of April was supposed to be a better year, and I'll be damned if the wheels didn't come off the wagon. So you got this white supremacist, Jonathan Pentland, sat up here and he was trying to pull a Zimmerman, runs up on somebody, only there was somebody with a camera there, so he couldn't quite get away with what he was gonna try to get away with. He couldn't quite get away with it. So it didn't work out quite the way he thought it was going to work out there. And he's sitting up here harassing this young man and talking about his wife built like a moon pie, and sitting up here talking about don't talk to her that way and this, that, and the other. He's defending his hunk of love. This young man with no justification whatsoever for why they're harassing him, except for the fact you're bigger than he is. So much for defending the citizens and people of the Constitution, in the United States Constitution. So much for that. So much for that. But see, he's in South Carolina. So what you see is they're now trying to go in these areas where they think they're going to be safe. So they're in South Carolina, and he figures the locals got his back. The locals got my back. I can do, this is the way we do things. Y'all don't understand. The locals got my back. The locals got my back. He's absolutely right. The locals do have his back. There just ain't enough locals who got his back to match up to the locals who got black folks' backs. Our locals outnumber yours. And let me remind you of one more thing, people. These white supremacists, I told you all this last week, if they really wanted the smoke, if they really wanted the barbecue and hickory smoke, it ain't hard to find us in a group today. It ain't hard to find. Where are the Proud Boys to come to Jonathan Pentland's house? Where are the Proud Boys to show up at Derek Chavin's house? Notice they were everywhere except where black folk were there as a group. Did you notice that? So they'll sit up here, they'll sit up here talking about Dante Wright and those Asian white supremacists out there who destroyed that memorial in Los Angeles. Understand something. If they were really interested in, quote, protecting the police, the black folk are standing outside the police's house. Why are you not there? You're attacking a defenseless memorial. You know where the black folk are. If you're so concerned about the cops, they standing outside his damn house. Shouldn't you be over there? Where are the Proud Boys? Where are the 2%ers, 1%ers, 5%ers, 8%ers, no percenters, gluten-free, mayonnaise? Where the hell y'all at? If y'all are really about that life, when you're sitting up here making your little old bull jive ass videos online, talking about who you gonna come out and what you gonna do and what you're defending. Folks, all those Trump protesters who were in DC on January 6, 2021, where they at? If they really about that life, where are they? Is all I'm asking you. I want you all to understand, don't y'all get fooled. If these, I told you all years ago, I said this years ago before any of this happened. If you'll all remember, I said this years ago after George Zimmerman, when the white supremacists felt like they had the wind at their backs and things were going their way and whatnot. And you all remember, I told you, I don't want black folk to get scared because I want y'all to understand, in reality, the white supremacists don't really want none. They don't really want a race war. They don't really want this to come down to mano a mano race war in the street. They don't really want that. They talk a good game. Remember, I've been saying this for years. They talk a good game. And they hide behind the police and act like they got things going their way. And they act like they really can't wait to go door to door and run up on black folk. That's the message they want you to have. And remember, I said this now 6-7 years ago. I told you all then, they don't really want it. They act like it. How many of you can bear me witness that I was saying this damn near a decade ago? The white supremacists talk about a race war, but in reality, they don't really want it. They don't really want that. Because if it really came down to it, it would look like professional sports. And we know what happens in professional sports. So they talk the good game and they put up their videos and they'll go see a white supremacist congressman or some talk radio host and show up on Fox News, and they'll have their beards and their khaki pants, giving off all of their ethnic signs and whatnot. Yeah, they'll do that. They'll flash their okay signals and all of those stuff. They do that where they're safe. They do that where it's okay. If they really wanted to come at black folk as a group, where's the Proud Boys? They were marching through LA in places where there was no black folk. Tried to go into a black neighborhood one time and went running. They only march in places where they got a bunch of their own people there. If they really wanted to run up on the folks they thought were problematic, why aren't you outside of Derek Chavin's house? Why aren't you outside of that cop, what's named Potter, who shot Dante Wright? Why are you not at her house? Why are you not there? Why are you not at the police stations? Black folk are lined up at the police stations out there in Oakland and Minneapolis. Why are you not out there? Why is the National Guard there, but you're not? You only sent out one little kid out there in Kenosha, Wisconsin. One kid. That's the amount of courage and guts you got. You sent one kid out there. Y'all sent him out there as a sacrificial lamb, and now he's on trial for his life. You know where black folk are as a group. and you ain't coming over there. It ain't hard to find. They on CNN, damn it. Breaking news. 100 Negroes standing outside this man's house. White supremacists, you want some? No, we'll be okay. We're gonna go have a gluten-free rally. We're gonna go have a gluten-free rally over in Fremont. We'll go have a gluten-free rally over there. We're gonna have an arugula party over there off of Fremont. That's where we going. We're gonna be in San Mateo, holding our Diet Pepsi and our Care Bears. Okay, but black folk right across the street, we ain't really trying to get over there. We ain't really trying to get over there. Hell, it ain't even a guns issue. It ain't even a guns issue, though. It's not even a guns issue. Black folk ain't showing up out there with no guns. That's the killing part about it. We ain't showing up with no guns like that. We ain't doing that. Black folk ain't even showing up with no guns like that. No. These dudes are out there with their damn bottles of Hellmann's and sitting around, with the crazy little corn nuts, or that nasty ass corn candy corn and whatnot, and that's it. And they're chewing tobacco, spitting on each other's feet like the damn 13th warrior, like that scene from the 13th. I mean, come on now. Hell, they know it ain't hard to find us while y'all out here signifying and performing. See, that's what happens when white supremacists perform. When white supremacists are performing, they put on their little bulletproof, it's supposed to look like bulletproof vests and Kevlar. They got their AR-15s. Okay, but if you really about we stand with the police, okay, we outside the police house and outside the police station. Where y'all at? Well, we sitting if they come in our neighborhood, wait a minute, the damn goalpost grew Nikes and ran the hell up out of here. I thought the goalpost was at the police station. I thought the goalpost was back in the badge. We over here at the badge's house. You talking about, well, if they come to my house, oh, okay. That line of defense broke real quick. Didn't take long for that to fall at all. People, I said this over a decade ago. Our children and grandchildren are going to look back on the civil rights generation and anybody after them who backs down for the white supremacists in shame and disgust when we finally do overcome them. They're going to be like, well, damn, y'all were scared of them? You all were scared of this Opus and Andy looking dude over here? All he had to do was put on a beard and put on some brown khakis and what? Is he supposed to look like a military contractor? Our children and great-grandchildren are looking at us like, what the hell? You know how I know? Because this generation are the children and grandchildren of the civil rights generation, and they looking at them like, I'll be damned if there's going to be another Bull Connor. Bull Connor sat up here and did the damn Macarena all over your ass, John Lewis. We ain't going to sit up here and tell people, well, I think the most important thing I ever did was get my ass whooped on Selma in Pittsburgh and Selma, Alabama. And I think you young folks right there, I really do think you don't want no troubles like that. So I think, don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to get a documentary made about you, about how you got your ass whooped by the police? That's going to be your legacy. John Lewis's legacy is getting his ass Boston curb stomped by damn me Bull Connor and the police. That's his legacy. Okay, the young folk today don't want that to be their legacy, John Lewis. The young folk today ain't trying to have a legacy like that. That's not what we're trying to do. We're doing something different. We're doing something different. You're not going to be able to shame us and tell us that defending ourselves is the wrong thing to do. You're not going to sit up here and tell us that we have to kiss the police's ass because you're trying to get a certain segment of the vote. We're not going for that. That ain't what's happening. That's not what's going down this time. Things are going to be radically different. Things are going to be radically different now. The month of April, people, what I'm telling you is the white supremacists are taking back-to-back L's in the month of April. April has a significance in the white supremacist mythology. They've created a modern day mythology, a modern day astrology, if you will, around the month of April. April in the white supremacist lexicon and calendar has an astrological lore to it. So they've created this astrological lore around the month of April, and I'll be damned if the month of April ain't just hell. How you gonna hold up the month of April is a great thing, and the month of April is back to back to back to back documented L's. How the hell do you hold it down for April when now April is becoming the anniversary of arrests and convictions and folk being shown that the block is gonna blow up on you? The month of April is losing its significance as a month of victories and gaining significance as a month of losses. And if this kind of thing continues and kind of continues, understand you're ripping them away from what they have as their cultural moorings. I want you to understand they create these things for their significance. They're coming back around to it. When you start destroying those things, they lose their identity. They lose their identity. The month of April was supposed to be a strong thing. It's supposed to be strong out here. They're supposed to be ready for that. The month of April is supposed to be a big deal. They're supposed to be ready for all of that. And it didn't go at all the way they wanted it to. And our job is to make sure that it continues down this road. That's our job. I know. This is what I was telling you all. After the election, I know some of you were like, well, Jason, it's all of no, Negro. That was a relapse. Take a look at the trend. It's like the stock market. Yeah, there's ups and downs, but take a look at the trend. Take a look at the long view. I've taken a look at the long view. We haven't let that go. This is becoming the thing. Folks are not afraid to pull up on you. The police can't protect you. Oh, hell, did I just say that? Damn, did I just say that? Oh, well, I might as well go all the way in then. Since I said it, I might as well just go ahead and go all the damn way in then. All right, ain't nothing else I can do. I might as well just say it all there. Look here, they were telling themselves, don't worry, it don't matter what we do. We can do whatever we want to. The police and the system got my back. The system has got my back. But what do you do when the system breaks down and now the system can't protect you anymore? What do you do then? Now what do you do? They can't protect you. They can't. There's too many places we can find you. They can't protect you. And there are too many emboldened people now. And they're not, the things that used to scare them don't scare them up anymore. They can't protect you, man. They can't protect you. They can't. Yeah, they're trying to circle the wagons, but that's what they always do. What do you do when you circle the wagons and it didn't change the outcome? They can't protect you. They can't. And now this is everywhere, because this used to be a thing in the big metropolitan areas, LA, New York. Now you're seeing it everywhere and anywhere. Folks, when they can turn up Minneapolis, you can get got anywhere. Because Minneapolis wasn't on the map, because you saw what happened with Philando Castile. Minneapolis wasn't even on the map. Nobody even, that was probably one of the last places you ever thought could light anything up. And it was Minneapolis. What does that tell you? That what's happening to black people happens to black people everywhere, and black people feel the same about it everywhere. And the pastors and the clergy and the old niggas and the church deacons who sit up here and tell the young black folks that the best they can do is hope to get their asses whooped and hope you survive the encounter. And even after the fact, you just got to rely on the system and trust in the system and pray to the Lord that the system will do the right thing. It's like, yeah, pray to the Lord right after you pull up on them. Lord, I'm praying that you'll help me pull up on these folks right quick. I'm believing that the system is going to change, and after you help me pull up on them. Now, there's a prayer I can stand behind. I can stand behind that one. You can sing a hymn to that. You can sing a hymn to that. if you wanna. Yeah, I can get a witness for that one. I can get a witness for that one. I sure can. I sure can. I can get a witness for that one. We're going to go ahead and see about taking you all's phone calls here in a few minutes, right after we take this very brief commercial, non-commercial break. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. Miss Cordelia, thank you very much for your support, ma'am. I appreciate that. My man, Keith David, Chadwick, I appreciate that. And everyone who has contributed on PayPal or Cash App, Ogun Spirit, Eddie N, and everybody else, thank you very much for your support. It's very much appreciated. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Probably going to see about coming back and taking some of your phone calls here. This is the Black Channel.
Within us is a powerful spirit, a God-given spirit. It's a spirit that empowers us to oppose demonic white supremacy, a spirit that motivates us to eradicate racist lies with Black truth. This spirit was alive during the rebellion of 1811. The spirit catapults us towards righteous justice. This is the spirit our opponents fear. Is the spirit of 1811 alive in you? Visit us at spirit-of-1811publishing.com. Buy our novel, War of the Heart, on sale today at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Spirit of 1811 Publishing. Our story, our family.
Aliens descend upon the city and discover melanin. They notice the people. They exploit the people.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I enjoy it. And because I can.
What type of payment do you want?
Do you see me? I have the best. I want the best. And I deserve the best.
Join us for the new drug you can find on YouTube at The Urban Gods, spelled with a Z, channel on YouTube.
Hey family, what's up? What's up? I'm Master Trainer Solomon Pratt. I'm in here to change lives, thighs, and glutes with my products with the online training. The online training is very, very effective. It's convenient to work out when you're ready on your time. So it'll download to your app. You can get 3 to 5 workouts per week tailored for you based off of your body type, your goals, your lifestyle, your experience, and also the equipment that you have. You're going to have the best bands, Solomon Fitness World bands. He has ankle bands. He has booty bands and power bands. It's going to strengthen, stretch, and change your life. Get your bands, use your bands, SolomonFitnessWorld.com. You the best.
She said she had a big fee. She had a parking ticket to pay off. That was around $300. He said, okay, I'll help you with it a little bit. So he intentionally tried to put in $30, but he fat fingered the hell out of this and put in $3,000 and sent the money off to her by mistake. And when he finally realized what happened, and he, of course he was messaging her, calling her, no reply. And after about 500 calls later and 10,000 texts later, well, he just realized she was all gone.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Glad to be with you all here this evening as we are discussing the fact that we've been sending them a message. Boy, they're upset out there right now. They don't know what to do. Nothing has happened the way it was supposed to happen. Nothing's gone down like it was supposed to go down. They are in shock and disbelief. And I am by no means saying that the battle is over or the battle is won. Hell no, people, this isn't the beginning of the end. This isn't even the beginning of the beginning. This is just the beginning, period. So we need to be very, very aware of that. Very, very aware of the fact that understand they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And our job is to make it clear that we understand. That's our job. We have to make it clear that we understand. Because as Black people here, what we tend to do, and you know what I've been warning you about for years and years now, we tend to sit up here and say, well, if it looks like it's going all right, then let's just go ahead and let good enough do. And if it looks like the bad guys are on the ropes, then we want to get ready to go home. We're always looking for a way to sit up here and go home. Can we go ahead and be done with it here right now? And can you go ahead and just let us get back to watching, BET and Love and Hip Hop or whatever? Can we go ahead and do that? And that's the whole thing I'm telling you about. We don't want to have any more of that. This idea that we sit up here and let these folks just do whatever they're going to do, and then we get awake for a few moments, and just as soon as we get half, it looks like it's half a win. No, we got to go all the way this time. No half measures. We got to go all the way in. We got to go all the way in on them now. We ain't playing with nothing. No, folks, that we need to make sure that they understand all the time, every time. We did not come to talk. We pulling up at the house. We pulling up on the lawn. We stepping on your tulips and your geraniums. We driving down home values. I mean, we remember when he was telling that kid, we're a tight-knit community here. We're a tight-knit community. Okay, where your neighbors at? Jonathan, where your neighbors? Where's that tight-knit community you was telling us about? We want to meet that community. You was telling us about your community. We brought ours. Where they at? Anything you want to do now. Folks, white supremacists are cowards. Everything they've ever done is an exercise in cowardice. It always has been. Nothing is different. Nothing has changed. They are not profiles in courage. They never have been. They are not the least bit interested in the things they claim to be interested in. They don't want to head up conflict. They're not doing that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you damn right, if things did get lit off or popped off, I'm bailing more people out. You're damn right I am. I was right there ready to. I sure was. If Shaven had walked, I was like, oh hell, let me go ahead and let the bank know. Let me go ahead and let the bank know. Yeah, I'm about to be spending a whole bunch here in the next week on, if you see just about 100 charges from bail companies. Yeah, I'm about to be doing the most here this week. I sure am. I sure am. Oh yeah, that's being on code. The white supremacists fund murderers and killers. We fund freedom fighters. You damn right. You damn right. But enough from me now. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the Blackest Radio program in existence, the only one of this kind on planet Earth today. You are, of course, as always, welcome to join us. Once again, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. It is very much appreciated. My man, Jay Burrell, been with me for a long time here. Thank you very much for your support. And Miss Tiffany, thank you very much for yours, ma'am. You have done the most, and that's appreciated. Loaf Ginger, thank you as well. and everybody else here. I appreciate it because it shows me that you're beyond just lip service. And I appreciate all the people who appreciate what we do. It's been a long, hard road for this, and to have a beacon and a lighthouse that gathers the folk who actually understand what's going on and point it in that direction. And let me say this in no uncertain terms. If it pops off anywhere, if we see a repeat of what happened last year come up this summer, I'm for it. I'm not some mush mouth over there bumping my damn gums commentating. I'm up here saying, hey, I only understand one language, power, wealth, and influence. I'm here to pass the bag. I'm here to run that change. So if anything happens and freedom fighters get locked up, we gonna be there for them. You damn right. Y'all gonna think they police officers. We gonna try to get them out so damn quickly, you gonna swear they police officers. 8 o'clock mugshot, 8:30 release. That's where we at today. That's what we about now. And yes, I was waiting in the wings. I was like, okay, I'm about to have a bunch of charges here, and just if it don't go the right way, because I'm figuring they're gonna do something, but if it doesn't go that way, I better get ready. Be prepared. We're gonna go ahead and open up the telephone lines for you here now. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Let's go ahead and get the phone lines. Please keep your comments brief and to the point. Caller from area code 419. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Jason? This is Joe from Toledo.
Joe from Toledo. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, I can't take too much more than you keep it 100, bro. You keep it 100. The pressure's on. The pressure's on. You are 100% on everything you just said. You broke it down to all the angles you can break it down on, and the pressure is there. And you already, and everyone's talking about putting the pressure on a high level beyond the judges. We're going to go beyond the judges and the senators. And now once that pressure starts because of the new black media, and its followers, hey, bro, keep it going. I'm going to follow and keep on putting that pressure on locally and spreading the news. Be one.
Black First, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. We don't need any new laws, people. The laws are already in place. They use them against black people every damn day. They misuse them against black people every day. We don't need a new civil rights law. We don't need any new protections. The laws are already there. Asians didn't have to get new protections. They're protecting Asians now and just piling on top of it to give them extra privileges so they can smuggle in some stuff. But we don't need anything new. The laws are already there. The protections are already there. The safeguards are already there. Everybody already knows it. We want them enforced now. And what we're showing them is that if you don't enforce it, we will. Now, do you notice what you ain't seeing? You want to know when folk take you seriously? Folk take you seriously when you pull up at their crib and you're not twerking, you're not jerking, you're not handing out copies of your mixtape, you're not sitting up here trying to sell your damn airbrush t-shirts, you're not sitting up here handing out your damn OnlyFans. Folk take you seriously when you show up at their house like, hey, we ain't here to perform. And we ain't here to perform nothing but justice. We're not here to perform for your entertainment. We came to perform this exorcism. Folks take you seriously when they see that. They waiting for y'all to get out there and start breakdancing. Nobody was doing that this time. It's like, oh, y'all came on business. Damn skippy. Call of Mary Code 281. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Prince out of Richmond, Texas.
Prince out of Richmond. What's on your mind?
Yes, I remember Professor Black Truth was making a statement last week. Then when the enemy does not give, when the enemy doesn't give the opposition a way out, they have no choice but to defend themselves, and they'll fight to the death. And I want to appreciate that young man for the way he handled himself, because the sergeant was much bigger than him. And what I've always known, and I'm this last statement, what I've always known is that when black people get in a situation where they have to stand up, they stop shucking and jiving. And everybody that's doing it, they got to get out the way. That's all I have to say, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I mean, and you all understand right here that if that young man had started beating the cow pies out of this damn white supremacists, they would have sworn up and down, oh, I promise you, they would have said that he was using his super Negro strength. That's what they would have said. He's using his super Negro strength, and if the police show up, or we had to shoot him. They would have sworn up and down that he was assaulting this dude. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't defend himself. I'm not saying that at all. But I am just saying, just understand, if he had started sitting up here and kicking the damn M&Ms out this bastard, they would have said that, oh, his super Negro strength was just too much, and the neighbors had to all come jump on him and kill him because. And like I say, we can't see everybody who's there, but just understand that when they got you surrounded like that and whatnot, they think if a guy is that bold, it's because he feel like he got the advantage. Remember with Zimmerman. Zimmerman's little damn meat cupcake built ass. He sat up there and did that because he knew that he had an advantage. He knew he was running up on an unarmed child, and he knew he had a gun. Zimmerman was never that bold anywhere. He has been in hiding now for years because that's what cowards like him are. They only do something like that if they think they got an advantage. He's been on the run ever since. So when you see this white supremacist come out like that, I want y'all to understand, when dude is just running up on you and he's that bold, that's because he probably thinks he's got an advantage somewhere. I mean, it's like, if you really thought this little old fellow was a danger in your neighborhood, aren't you scared he might be armed or something? Aren't you worried he might do something? Oh, no, I'm not. He's not worried about that. Okay, so what is it that this guy knows to run up on you like that? What is it that makes him feel so secure? So that's why we as Black folk, everywhere we go, we got to be prepared. Now, I'm not advocating for the Girl Scouts or a fundraiser, but I am going to say everybody out there, you know, hey, might want to keep a little Kit Kat, a little Twix bar on you. Everybody want to run around like damn me, Dirty Harry, with something big enough to pull over your shoulder shooting it. No, man, look here, just had you just a little taste of something. A bite size. Snack, get you a snack size Kit Kat. I know we usually tell the women to do that, but yeah, get you a little snack size Kit Kat to keep with you, just in case you gotta break somebody off, break them off a piece, just in case. I'm just saying. Call us Mary Code 330. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Jason? It's Jay from Akron.
Jay from Akron, what's on your mind?
All right. Thanks for tonight's broadcast. In wake of the conviction of Derek Chauvin on all charges, particularly in the same state that Officer Noor received, I believe, 12 years for significantly lesser charges, I'd like to hear your opinion on what justice looks like in terms of sentencing. If you think back to the Botham Jean case, everyone was pretty much on code throughout the first part of the charges and being found guilty. But once it was time for sentencing, then you saw the buck dancing starting. So again, I guess my question for you is, what's going to be serviceable in terms of sentencing for Mr.
It's a
Chauvin?
marathon, not a sprint. You got to understand, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So Black folk have to be conditioned, because you got to understand, a lot of Black folks, when it's time to deal with white supremacy, I've taught you all for years, there's a little white supremacist on every Black person's shoulder in America. And every time it's time to deal with white supremacy, that white supremacist on their shoulder starts talking to them, and they start identifying with white supremacy. So when it's time to give them the damn business, and when it's time to finally slay the demon, they just start invoking their religion, and they start getting weak in the knees. And well, I mean, but do we want to deal with them? It's hardly they deal with us. And then it turns to that. So there's where the issue is. Here's the difference. I don't see that happening this time. I don't see that happening. Nobody's trying to have mercy on Derek Chauvin. His defense attorney, that was just the most despicable, idiotic thing. If you saw my documentary Race War, you saw Lee Merritt in the film. And he was talking about the when Harvey Milk was killed out there in California, and how the guy who killed him, they put it. His attorneys tried to invoke the Twinkie defense. That because of his junk food diet, that was why he was this grown ass man was hyped up like a little kid, and because he ate junk food so much, it had a deleterious effect on his mind, and he went and shot this man. And the judge wouldn't let them use that as defense. He said that would be an insult to let you use something this preposterous in my courtroom. They sat there and said that George Floyd succumbed to exhaust fumes at the police cars. It was the exhaust fumes. With every damn medical examiner saying, oh, actually, air constriction. Constriction, strangled to death, baby, you suffocated to death. Well, it might have been exhaust fumes. Might have been some drugs he had previously. He might have choked on some now ladies. We don't know. Some of the stuff they were saying in that courtroom, it was outlandish and ridiculous. So the level of justice in the courtroom that Harvey Milk got 30, 40 years ago, we still can't get that today. What they told you was an outrageous thing that you cannot say in the courtroom back then. You can say it today with us. If a black person killed a police officer, they would not let you say, well, the cop died of pre-existing conditions. Not them folk slugs I put in him. That didn't have nothing to do with it. They wouldn't let you say that. So as far as what does justice look like, well, we're not going to get justice on my terms or the way I'd like it in this wicked system. So before you even go there, what would satisfy me? Oh, brother, that ain't gonna happen. That one's not happening. So don't ask me, Jason, what would satisfy you? It'll give you nightmares. It would only give you nightmares. So don't worry about that one. But what does it look like to me?
I got you.
What it look like to me? I figure a good 30 years. I'll settle in lieu of getting what I actually want. I'll settle for a good 30 years for him. I can go for that one. I can do that. That'll work for me. That'll work for me. I'll take that one. I'll take that. But here's the real thing. The real thing is he's just one. Now, there's the thing I'm taking a look at. There were, remember there were like 3 or 4 cops they indicted for the beating the Rodney King. Wouldn't it be something if we were able to show those same numbers here for George Floyd and everybody get taken? Now you start asking different questions. You start looking at Marilyn Mosby, and you all know that I had issues with her from the start. She got out there talking a good game. But you all remember I had issues with her from the very beginning. I never let up on her. I had issues with Marilyn Mosby from the beginning. She was never okay in my eyes. And sure enough, she has proven why I was correct about that. And then you start looking at how it is she couldn't get all them cops in jail with Freddie Gray. So understand, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're going to have to drag some Negroes, and they're going to have to be drugged across the damn finish line because they're going to be sitting there telling them, well, Jason, that you kind of rough on that right there, bro. We need to, judge not let you be judged. And, you don't want to be too harsh on it. It's very hard. So we got to make it clear that, hey, everybody who's talking like that, you got to go. Nobody's listening to you. We got to make them scared to even show their heads. And right now they are, but this is all the more reason we have to be hard line and uncompromising. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
B1 Jason. This is Jack from Harlem.
All right, Jack from Harlem. What's on your mind?
Yeah, you were talking earlier about using the pre-existing conditions defense for the death of a cop. Now, there's something I saw that went under the radar earlier this week in the news. Some real cold-blooded. They said that officer, Sicknick, who died in the Capitol riot, they said that 4 months later, after the riot, they finally said that his cause of death was was strokes. He died of 2 strokes a day after the riot.
Well, yeah, I mean, what they're saying though is that basically has complications from it. So that's the medical diagnosis. I understand the point that you're making here, which is, yeah, I mean, what does that have to do with anything? But they're just letting you know there's this, they're not going to, I told you all this months ago, they're not going to help us dismantle white supremacy. The media isn't going to help us do it. If they see us making strides and they know they just can't cover it up and can't defend it, they'll ease back for a little bit. But eventually they're going to be like, all right, niggas, y'all doing too much, and then start throwing confusion and clouding the issue and trying to put up a smoke screen. So yeah, I get why everybody's been saying that. Just understand it doesn't change the material facts at all. This is really just complications from it. But the fact that they would even say this is letting you know, all right, y'all getting a little too rough, y'all getting a little too powerful. We're going to pull back on you. So just understand, that's going to be the way they always do it. The white supremacist media is not going to help us dismantle this. And when they see us getting too strong, they're going to pull back. So just take it in that vein, okay? Just understand that that's what it is. They're not going to help us do this. That they're letting you know that you sound like you're trying to help, that we're giving you too much help, and that's why we're pulling back on you.
Jay, I had one more question. How effective do you think that anti-Asian hate crime bill is going to be in them targeting Black people?
I mean, they've already got all the laws in place they need to do that, so that's not necessary. The real thing is about changing the national discussion. Dr. Claude Anderson said 30 and 40 years ago that the goal of all these other groups was to change, he's speaking specifically like the National Council of La Raza, was to change the subject from being black and white to brown and white. And that was their goal the whole time. That was 40 years ago. So now with the Asians, their goal has been to change the national discussion from being black and white to being Asian and white. In California, they've been pushing for that. So that's the goal. So the real thing about this law is to give an excuse that the national discussion is no longer about white supremacy. That's the real point. Every time we turn around, they tell you, oh, there's a bigger issue than white supremacy. We need to take care of illegals. We need to take care of these DACA kids. We ain't supposed to be over here. We need to take care of LGBT. Now we need to take care of Asians. Brother, they would sit up here and tell you we need to pass a bill to protect snow cones. If it changes the subject off of discussing Black people and the blight of white supremacy. So, brother, anything and everything. And there's nothing, this thing doesn't really have anything Titanic in it, but it is an excuse to change the subject. And they're just hoping they can get away and string this along for the next 3 or 4 years. Well, Jason, that would be impossible. Bro, that's all they got. I've been telling y'all that since the election. I said they were going to do this. That's all they got. There is nothing else. It's not organic. Nobody was asking for this. Nobody was demanding it. It's not going to change anything on a major level, but this is all they got. Just understand this is it. That's all. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 361. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good evening, Jason. This is Marcus from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay, what's your name again?
Marcus.
All right, Marcus from Corpus Christi. What's on your mind?
You know, Jason, I noticed 2 things today. I went back to 2015, and when Freddie Gray was murdered, we all know the story of Toya Graham, and she was slapping her son around and this, that, and the other. And that was truly embarrassing. But as we fast forward, we look at what the millennial generation has been echoing what we've been saying, the Gen X's. Fast forward to January 6th, all these people that prior to that were telling us that, don't worry about that. That's like you just said with the other caller, we have bigger issues besides reparations. We have bigger issues besides you guys being murdered systematically by the police. And then today, 2 of my favorite people that I love to hate, Maxine Waters and Negro Jim Clyburn. They want they want BLM, Black Lives Matter, to be, quote unquote, more confrontational on racial issues. But my question with that is that they've never been confrontational on racial issues. Well, at least there are a lot of chapters that have been putting in the work. I do have to admit, I got some folks up on the East Coast, New York and DC, that are putting in the work. But when we hear about these two chicks that this real estate spree and this, that, and the other, that's not putting in work. You've monetized Black men's death. But these two fools right here are so worried that their political positions are in total jeopardy because I swear to you, Jason, they saw the same film that we saw when that brother went back to his neighborhood or wherever it was. He said, hey, look, we got to go to this white boy's house.
Well, here's the real thing about that, though. You got to understand, we don't need to let the politicians lead us. That's the first thing. Black folk have been having this strategy of we just sit back, elect a black face, and then when they get in the office, they'll take care of the rest. And if nothing else, I hope that this breaks us of that foolishness that all we need to do is vote for this person or that person over there and leave it on autopilot, and they'll get us where it needs to go. So I actually want us to have to push them. We need to be pushing them and micromanaging them and making sure that they do every single step the way we want them to do it. That's the most important thing. But yes, they're not pushing the events, we're pushing them. And if they were really concerned about getting more black folk out there in the streets and being agitated and whatnot, they should be sitting there in the Congress and leading by example instead of responding.
Absolutely.
To the street. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call of Mary Code 202. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JB from Washington, D.C.
JB from D.C. What's on your mind?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the line. What's on your mind?
Yes, I was going to make 2 points here. This has been sent. I used to say, like a couple years ago, for a while we don't go to the neighborhoods when stuff like this happens and step on their necks like they step on ours. Luckily enough, I'm here to see it, and I'm glad we're doing it. And basically, we need to do it more consistently because this is going to be a war that's going to be lasting for a while. So we should be getting ready and get our bootstrap going on. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. The previous caller, when he was talking about how the millennials are out there and whatnot, yeah, and I've been saying this since the beginning because those are the ones that these folk are going after. They're not going after the civil rights retreads and bootlicks and your little old grandmama and whatnot. They was dealing with, I'm talking about as a matter of daily events. They're not going after the elderly and the old. They're targeting the young. I've told you all since the beginning, white supremacy believes in targeting children. White supremacy believes in going after your kids. It believes in going after your babies. That's what white supremacy does. It goes after your children and your babies. That's what it does. Always. So understand where we're really at here. Understand what we're really doing and where we're really at. The young people are the ones getting targeted. That's why they're the ones in the streets, because they don't trust these old niggas to do nothing. That's the damn difference. The young folks are out here in the streets because they are not trusting any of these old niggas to do anything. They don't have any faith in you. They don't believe in you. Because they sat there and watched y'all sit up here. When they get killed, y'all bust out the damn hymnal, and the damn reverend who's sitting up here sleeping with half the deacons and deaconesses and sitting, or the deacons, for that matter. The reverend sleeping with the deaconesses or the deacons. And all he's good for is a damn revival and an occasional chicken plate dinner once a year while he rolls off in his Rolls Royce. No, we got the clergy who are the puppets of the white supremacy. We got them up off the block. They're not listening to you anymore. They're not listening to you. You ain't got no clout over here with the young folk. You have none. You know who's got clout with them? Right here. Roland Martin even admitted that he doesn't have the young people. Remember that program I did a couple of years ago? We got Kamala Harris up off the block in her presidential run. Roland Martin came up there talking about, well, we got the older folks. Them the ones who's gonna vote. So Roland let you know he doesn't represent the young people. The young people don't know a damn. The young people don't fool with his ass. Don't nobody fool with that damn jelly bean built nigga. Nobody's messing with him. They don't know anything about him. The young folk are not taking his damn cinnamon bun built ass seriously. No one's quoting Roland Martin. When they ran up on Tom Steyer and Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris, they were saying, cut the check. They were saying, cut the check. That's what they were saying. That's who's got their ear. That's who's captured their imagination. That's who's their voice. The young people are saying, cut the check. Because they understand. Call of Mary Code 302. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Caller from 302. Last try. You're on live.
Yes. How you doing, Jason? Hello?
Okay. He is not ready for life. Caller from area code 703. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, Jason? It's Larry from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Larry from Woodbridge, what's on your mind?
Once again, you're on point with everything, and I just got one question. Do you think this is going to literally be a pull-up summer in every single neighborhood, every single time that something like this happens, like that, what happened to that young man down in South Carolina?
Here's the issue. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to set off every time it happens. It just needs to set off enough times. Remember, all it took to really kick off the civil rights movement was one murder. Black folk have been getting murdered and slaughtered by the thousands and tens of thousands before then. It only took the last one to set everything off, Emmett Till. So I don't count it in that way. What I'm telling you is, it just takes enough of them. It doesn't have to happen everywhere, every time. It just needs to happen enough places, enough times. And the fact it's happening in places that they weren't expecting. They wouldn't suspect it happening. Minneapolis, South Carolina, you're used to this in major metropolitan areas. This is happening in big towns, small towns, mid towns, Ferguson, Missouri. Nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe for white supremacy to ply its trade. They gotta wonder, okay, it didn't happen here. Here's the problem. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it now. That's the real point of it. It doesn't have to be that everybody gets it. We just made it clear anybody can get it. And you don't want to really roll the dice whether or not this is your day or not. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call of Miracle 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on? This is Nico calling out of Atlanta.
Nico out of Atlanta. What's on your mind, brother?
Difficult it ain't. I mean, as usual, you and the other brothers have been hitting on all cylinders. And I would encourage the folks who are listening, set some money aside for these brothers. Put some money up on the Cash App. Don't just call in and give your opinion so we all can hear it. Make sure that these brothers are well funded to keep moving. The second thing here is, look, we don't play them games down here, at least. I don't think that it's wide enough people fighting. But brothers, we need to step up. You see a sister getting out of pocket, you let her know. You talk to her gently. Hey, listen, this is where we need to go. But if somebody's trying the kids, you walk on them. We see police officers down here a lot around some. Hey, what you doing with them? We want to know what's happening. We will pull up on you. We're getting tired of it. And then listen, again, I thank you, Mr. Jason Black, for doing everything you're doing, and I'm going to keep contributing. Keep going, and I'll keep going.
Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate your support. It's very much appreciated. And I just want you all to understand, like I say, no matter what happens here, I speak about power, wealth, and influence, but you all saw what I do. I set that aside. When it's time to do billboards, when it's time to get the message out there, whether it's Breonna Taylor or Bolton Jean, I didn't give lip service. when Botham Jean got murdered like he did in Dallas. Not really far from where I used to live, by the way. If you really just want to know, it wasn't that far from where I used to live. And when I saw that happen in Dallas and whatnot, I didn't sit up here and just, oh, with me, we really need to take a look at this. No, I got to work and said, hey, I know what the white supremacist media is going to do. I got to get to work here. Wish we could have done more for Breonna Taylor. I wish we could have done more. It's going to be harder going forward, and we're going to have to just dig in deeper, quite frankly. And we can't do everything everywhere, but we're not going to let the fact that we can't do everything everywhere stop us from doing what we can do. So I'm trying to lead from example. Let me get caller from area code 201. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Caller from area code 201. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Leopold II in Hudson County, New Jersey.
What a name, Leopold II. What's on your mind?
Yeah, when the makers going to take accountability for the bastards that's grading?
Okay. Well, you sound like one of those individuals. Anyone interested in knowing, his number is 201-600-1841. And Leopold II would like to know, he would like to ask a couple of questions. So I don't have time to address it all right now, but his number is 201-600-1841. Again, his telephone number is 201-600-1841. If you all would like to give him a call, either tonight, later tonight, in the wee hours of the morning, Saturday, Sunday, while he's going to go see his grandmama as she knits Confederate flags out in the sticks in Oklahoma, you can go ahead and give them a call at this number. Or when he's talking to his his wife, which is probably both, because I'm sure that his family tree goes straight up with no branches. You can give him a call at that number, 201-600-1841. He's got a lot of questions, and I'm sure all of you will have a lot of answers. Have a good night, Leopold. I have a feeling it's going to be eventful. Caller from the area code 317. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Dre with Indianapolis, Indiana.
Dre from Indianapolis. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I remember you asked a question about, where are all the Biden supporters at this point? I just wanted to highlight a fact that I believe a lot of them are calling in on your phone right now. They're calling in right now. They're so afraid to admit that they voted for that piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but that's a good
so
thing.
Funny because,
but that's a good thing.
Go ahead.
You got to understand, that's a good thing, brother. That's a good thing, because you have to understand emotional and psychological dominance. You got to understand that.
Right.
When somebody goes from stomping their feet and cheering and this, that, and the other, and then they get deathly quiet, you understand when you've won. And remember, victory starts between people's ears. So if the very fact that they were loud before and all of a sudden just that quickly they got deathly quiet, what does that tell you? That tells you that they have already figured out they're on the losing end of this thing. They've already figured out there is no escape. There is no exit strategy. There is no happy ending. Damn, we got took. So they're really trying to figure out, well, how do we move back over where we need to be? Our job is to make sure that there's nobody proud to speak up about that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a call from area code 504. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charles Jr. from New Orleans.
Charles Jr. from New Orleans. What's on your mind, brother?
We want family. All I gotta say is that we've like 5-6 days away from Biden's 100 days in office. Ain't nothing been done for us. So where are all these bisexuals at? They're nowhere to be found because they already just passed that Asian hate crime bill. So the only people that can protect black people are just the black people themselves. that critical mass, that 10 to 20%. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Understand some folks, I've never been worried about that. I have never been worried about that at all. I am not worried about that now. It's never bothered me. Never bothered me. And I'm not worried about it today. And I know that would really, perplex a lot of people about that, but I'm not worried about that. You know why? Because black folk, unfortunately, have demonstrated that the moment the white supremacy takes its boot off our necks, we start breathing a little bit easier, and then we want to go home. So we don't need to keep the pressure on, and the pressure is going to have to keep being put on black society so the Negroes don't sit up here and decide, okay, we're going to go home early. Damn, going home early. Black folk have made it very clear that if the threat isn't always ever present and clear and in our faces, we're going to try to pack up, call the game over, and go home. Damn that. Damn that. I'm perfectly fine with that, with a certain level of tension being right there, that they letting you know, oh no, it is a life and death struggle. Black folk have demonstrated that we don't respond unless there is a crisis. We have made it clear that we don't respond unless there's a crisis. In the chat room, they're saying Leopold II's voicemail box is already full. Huh, interesting. His mailbox is already full? Well, it sounds like he's getting a lot of answers. Yeah, that went well for him, didn't it? He's getting a lot of answers. So he called in to get answers, and we have obliged him. See, teamwork makes the dream work. Another happy customer just got served. Call of Mary Code 831. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Mimi from Monterey.
Mimi from Monterey. Try saying that 3 times fast. What's on your mind?
Yes. So this last week with the verdict from the trial, this lady, I guess she just wanted to pick up a conversation in the grocery store with a random black person because she was in love with Candace Owens, and so she was discussing her issues that she had with the pull-up summer that started or kicked off, and her response was that. Well, it's not that bad for all black people. Like, all black people haven't had George Floyd's experience. And I just feel like, the mob mentality, made the trial unfair. And it just astonishes me because I've dealt with this kind of mentality from other people growing up here in Monterey, having left South Central. And I'm just like, how do you judge an experience that one you've never had?
Okay, now wait a minute. Wait.
You will never live
now,
a day in black skin.
Was this you said, now, was this a white woman?
This was just a random white lady in the grocery store.
Okay.
I guess
now understand something.
Pleasant. I don't know.
Okay, well, understand something. Like, understand something here. Okay, slow down. Just listen. The audio on the phone is fine. Let's not talk over the host. That's a bad precedent to set. Let's not do that. Understand what you're looking at from a sociological perspective and a social perspective. White folk have been telling us the whole time that they understand the system and the daily system of injustice that we live in. They understand our grievances are real and justified. They also understand that they have not addressed them and continue to wrong us every single day. And they understand this. Quentin Tarantino's movie Django Unchained. He made that, when I reviewed that movie, I'll let you all know, the line in there with Leo DiCaprio when he says, Uncle, what's his name? Uncle Ben, who was shaving his granddaddy's beard all the time. He said, now, if I had been Uncle Ben, I would have slit that bastard's throat. Wouldn't have taken me no damn 50 years neither. When white people look at us, that's what they think. That's what black people need to understand. White folk are not stupid. When they read American history and they take a look at what happens to us every day and what's going on every day, they get it. They're not dumb. They don't support the system of white supremacy because they think it's just. They support the system of white supremacy because they believe it's the only thing that prevents the day of reckoning, because in their minds, if someone had been doing this to them for 500 years, it's only going to be a matter of time before they all rise up and march on you and slaughter everyone. And it's the Haitian Revolution or Nat Turner or whatever. They think this on a daily basis. This is the foundation of their psyche towards us. That at any moment, you will be made to pay for not just the sins of the fathers, but the sins of yourself. When they look at us, they see the crucible of history and they fear it, which is why white supremacy, Proud Boys, 1%ers, Donald Trump get such widespread support, because that is white people's experience. Most white people agree with it, and most white people feel that way, which is why most white people respond that way. And the reason that most black folk responded the way they did after George Floyd is because that is most black males' experience. You'll be hard damn pressed to find a black male in this country who does not have a similar story to George Floyd, myself included. Myself included.
I've had it too.
Well, I mean, those are females. Now, here's the only thing right here. Now, I'm not going to make a distinction about that, but just understand, as black men in particular, not to say this to separate anything out, this is black people's experience, but they target the men because we're the warrior class. As a woman, the real thing is neutralize the men, and the women and children are easy victims. Keep that in mind.
Exactly, yes.
Neutralize the men, and the women and the children.
More of the sexual nature.
Well, neutralize the men, and the women and the children are going to be easy pickings. They're going to be sitting ducks. And that's the whole point. So get the males out here wearing thongs and wearing sandals and wearing hair rollers and pink fluorescent underwear, or sit up here and stick the prison industrial complex on them or whatever, and see that weakens them in that way. So, but here's the real thing. Most black males have that experience. Most black males, I'm talking about from a young age. Now they've got the damn prison industrial complex in the damn classroom. They're putting handcuffs on 5- and 6-year-old children. They're not even waiting for you to get out of grade school anymore. They're doing this to 5- and 6-year-old children now. Letting you know, and these are overwhelmingly black boys, overwhelmingly black males.
That a deposit.
Well, yeah, I mean, they understand what they're doing. So our job is to see that. So George Floyd didn't get the response he did because that's not most black people's experience. He got the response he did because every black person has either been through it or directly is related. I didn't say knows. Either you've been through it or your brother or your sister has been through it. It's not 3 degrees of separation. It's you, and that's it. The biggest coon in America will swear to you, I got some pro-black brother somewhere, and if he would just calm down, the police would quit messing with him. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 856. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good evening. My name is Kiara. I'm calling from Virginia.
Okay, get closer to your phone. Whoever you are, you're on speaker. I don't know where you are, but get closer to your phone. Having trouble making out what you're saying. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Kiara.
Okay, your phone's volume keeps going in and out. I heard Kiana. We'll try this one last time.
Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay. Kiana, where are you calling from?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm calling from Virginia, down by Fredericksburg. How are you doing?
All right, Kiana from Virginia, and what's on your mind?
Yes. So we're well aware of the issue with, the anti-Asian hate crime bill and everything is done for everybody but black people, benign neglect, forget what's called main mission. And my whole thing is, to your point that you made 10 minutes ago, it just has to happen one last time for things to really get bad. What I'd like to know from your perspective is, what can we do as black people so that way we don't have another black man or black woman or black child get killed for us to turn up the way we need to turn up?
No, man, we're doing it right now. The first thing that we are doing is we're communicating. First thing that we're doing is we're communicating. Second thing that we're doing is we are Because understand, like I said, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Right.
It's not a sprint. So what do we need to do? We need to keep doing what we're doing. This should have been done 100 years ago, and we should have kept at it.
I agree.
We didn't do it. So what I'm saying, this is just the beginning of it. We're just starting. We're already doing it. Take a look at the things they're saying. Take a look. White supremacy on the run. They're talking about taking all the police and putting them in South Dakota, for God's sake. Take a look at what they're doing. They're the ones, understand, take a look at who's pushing the events. They're the ones talking about altering what they're doing. They're the ones talking about the system is breaking down. They're the ones talking about police can't, quote, do their jobs. Okay, their job so far, you're talking about killing innocent unarmed black people is doing their job. Yeah, I want to stop them from doing their job. You're damn right. You're damn right. Jason, they're saying that you're stopping the police from doing their jobs. Well, if the police's job is to murder unarmed black people, you damn right. I'm here to stop you from doing your job. Yes, I am. Now, you go ask them. Don't ask Jason Black. You go ask Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Pete King, Pat Buchanan. You go ask them if we've changed things. You go ask Richard Spencer and Jared Taylor. I talked to them. You go ask them if things are different now. Don't ask me. I'm biased. I can tell you anything. You go ask Pat Lynch. Ask Pat Lynch of the New York Police Officers Union. You ask him if things have changed. Don't talk to me. I might lie to you. I might have an agenda. I might make things up to make my situation look rosy and make it look like I'm way more effective, or the New Black Media is doing more, or you and I are getting more accomplished, or this is really having an effect. Don't listen to me. Listen to the governor of South Dakota, who I was talking about here the other day when she was on Fox News. Go listen to her. She's the one saying police, we're recruiting police from all over the country because they're not allowed to do y'all like they do you in the South or the North or the Northeast or in other areas. Well, I'm getting police officers from everywhere. Yeah, because things have changed. So don't believe me. Absolutely. If you want to really know, we're already making progress. We need to stay on this. The real thing is staying on this and staying consistent. That's all it really is. But that's where we're at now. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I got a board full of calls right now, folks. I'm just going to be straight with you. I got a board full of calls. I'm getting ready to wrap things up here because we really could sit here and do this all night. I'm going to go ahead and just take one or two more phone calls before we wrap things up. Let me get caller from area code 612. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jason. This is George from Minnesota. How are you doing, Jason?
George from Minnesota. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, bro. Thanks a lot for picking on my call. I have a couple of questions that the B1 family has to ask the entire America. When we said Black Lives Matter, they came with all lives. Now they come up with the stop the Asian hate. Where do we hear stop the all hate? It shows how demonic and wicked people are. Because it concerns the black people. When you talk about Black Lives Matter, their other mantra is all lives matter. Now that we have the stop the Asian hate, where do we see people talking about stop all hate?
Yeah, real interesting that the white supremacists are not out there giving the Asians the response they gave us. Very interesting. They're not out there telling the Asians all lives matter. They're not trying to shout them down. Everybody's been saying that before here as well. Yes, and that's a very good point. You're not giving the Asians that response. Then again, you didn't give the Latinos that response either. They're not in the right neighborhood. You don't have a Jonathan Pentland sitting up here harassing Latinos who are, quote, not in the right neighborhood. And they be standing outside of damn me Home Depot. So all of a sudden, they've never targeted Latinos for loitering in California. Even at the height of Jim Crow and racism, and while they were beating on Rodney King, the illegals were standing outside of Home Depot and Lowe's in Los Angeles loitering. Nobody called the police on them, and the police didn't mess with them, even if they did just happen to drive by. So yes, they've never given us the same treatment, but it's always good when we can show concrete real-world examples to beat them with every day. Absolutely. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you, brother. Next thing I want to say is this. We cannot imagine that the Asians, they have not up to 20 members in the Congress, and they were able to pull one, bill or law for them? How comes that we have about over 60 of congressional black people, congressional black caucus, the Kun Black caucus, and they cannot even fight to push laws that are meant to stop the killing of the black people? We need to start visiting them in their various you call it structures, and making sure that we take them out, because they're not working for the people. They have to start paying. We have to start doing an in-house check to ensure that they start paying dearly. They don't sit there and become shields, and they allow our people to be killed on the streets. Thank you very much, brother, for even giving me this opportunity. Be1.
Georgia, Minnesota, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. But the first thing we have to do, though, is we all got to get on code ourselves. We can't ride roughshod on Maxine Waters and the Congressional Black Caucus if we are not all on the same page ourselves. We all have to be clear about what is the black agenda and what is the black disposition on all of this. And then the politicians, whatnot, they'll have no choice but to respond, because there's too many of us who are saying the exact same thing. We are moving in that direction. As I told the previous female caller, that's what we have to stay consistent about now. We have to stay consistent about that, and we can't let any of the old bootlicks or anybody else sit up here and take us off our square. We cannot allow that. I got a board full of calls right now, and I really could keep on going at this right here, but I think we've made our points. We wanted to send them a message, and they've gotten it. We need to keep going. We are not anywhere near done. We're not anywhere near through. This is no time to rest on our laurels. Yes, we have made some progress. Yes, we have made some things happen, but we got to keep it happening now. We have to keep pouring on the gas, pouring on the pressure. That is how you make change. White supremacy gets up every day. It doesn't have an end date or an expiration date. There is no victory date. It simply exists. Black empowerment has to be the exact same way. The push for justice has to be the exact same way. There is no end date. There is no victory date. It is a daily routine. White supremacy is a daily routine. Justice has to be a daily routine. Empowerment has to be a daily routine. There is no end date. There is no vanquish the enemy and they are gone for good. There is get power and then hold it. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend, over 120,000 subscribers and rising. We are not a little thing, even though YouTube is trying to turn us into a little thing by suppressing our channel and refusing to suggest us, recommend us over there on the corner of your videos. YouTube has us shadow banned, but the way we can deal with that is with your help. You have heard tonight's program. You have seen what it is like to have the information directly from the black media. Your job is to share the program, share the program, share it. That is what I need. Likes are good, shares are golden. Share this with people and make sure you click that red subscribe button. The ability to have all of you aggregated in this place, to have you actually counted and tabulated, and to be able to say that we have over 120,000 subscribers and rising, that's significant. This isn't some fringe program somewhere with somebody saying some crazy stuff. When you got 120,000 people who have co-signed it, that's a major thing. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and for what it's worth, the yellow notification bell. They don't notify you all the time, but every once in a while that works. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you need to go there now and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, and Race War, all available on Amazon, on DVD, and for streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.